dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, Καραμανλή was the outstanding statesman who established modern parliamentarism in Greece back in the 70s, once again. Καραμανλή was also the leader who led Greece to the European institutions by becoming the prominent pioneer in a series of enlargements that resulted from the common market of 9 members back in 1980 to the 28 members among our European Union today. But Καραμανλή was more than an unsurpassed political leader for Greece. He was primarily a European visionary. And his vision about Europe is today even more relevant than in his time. You see, Europe is more than a word, more than a geographical term, more than a legendary figure out of the Greek mythology. It is a family of peoples, different in many respects, but still very similar in others. A family of peoples who have shaped up human history over millennia, teaming up with each other and fighting among themselves, building cultures, destroying them, and rebuilding them again and again, constantly expanding beyond their borders and occasionally imploding within their limits, occupying a small part of the globe today and yet stretching their influence to the whole world. It is a family becoming a community. It is a community becoming a union, and this has been going on for centuries. There have been many efforts recorded in history to unite Europe. Most of them relied on wars of conquest and subjugation by force. All of them failed because the Europeans are strong enough to resist any invader. They're also resilient enough to undermine and eventually overthrow any subjugation. But in the process, Europeans learned to cooperate with each other, since they had to team up in all possible combination of allies, fighting for their freedom. However, in the last 55 years, Europeans have tried to unite in a different way. Not by force, but by the consensus of their free will. Not by subjugation, but by their free choice. Not by wars, but through democratic rules and economic integration. There is no historic precedent to that in our modern world. But Europeans have no choice other than uniting, not destroying, as the President of our Parliament just said. How could they otherwise compete with the new emerging powers? How else could they possibly face the new challenges of today and the new threats of tomorrow? It hasn't been easy so far. Indeed, we are making big steps ahead, despite occasional crises, or sometimes even because of them. It is not going to be easy in the future either, but we've got to remember 3 things. First, what binds us together, our history and our culture, our Christian heritage, and our democratic political background relying on the rule of law and on the unqualified respect for human rights. This defines our common identity despite all kinds of differences that divided us in the past. It also defines our future and has a lasting influence way beyond our borders, since most of what we take for granted in Europe as part of our own heritage is still missing outside Europe in large segments of the world. Secondly, we must remember competitiveness. We coined the term here in Europe. Today, many other regions in the world are making giant leaps forward based on competitiveness. We cannot allow ourselves to lag behind. We have to use our resources wisely to maximize our potential. We have to defeat bureaucracy and segmentation. We cannot think big if our horizon is limited by our national borders. Integration does not mean relying on a super bureaucracy that will eventually absorb and depayload all of us. Integration means liberating the initiative of each and every one of us, as well as unleashing the synergies among all of us, our resources, as well as our talents of our people, and the potential of our culture. Thirdly, solidarity and responsibility. Because there's no union without solidarity among its members. And there's no solidarity for all without responsibility by each and every one. And this is what Greece is living through nowadays. On the one hand, unbelievable sacrifices by its people. And on the other hand, existed and expected further solidarity by the member states in this common family of all. These are precisely the fundamental elements defining a community. A sense of common identity, a common view vis-à-vis the rest of the world, a sense of solidarity among its members, and a sense of responsibility by each and every one of them. Because only such a community can evolve to a strong and stable union. We know by now that we may need more Europe, not less. More integration, not less. More community procedures and a more substantial community budget. More common policies, establishing a secure and thriving banking system. More fiscal cooperation, establishing a stable monetary union. More decisive initiatives, establishing a common energy policy and a stable tax environment across Europe. More synchronization in implementing structural changes. We also need more protection for our borders and effective policies influencing beyond our borders, because everything that happens around us can come through our borders, and everything that comes through in one member state can eventually spread all over member states. And the recent events in Lampedusa are the daily tragedies we have been living in Greece for years now. Creating a union generates enhanced capabilities for all, but also entails enhanced responsibilities to all. We cannot take advantage of the new capabilities without assuming the ensuing responsibilities. Yes, there have been many mistakes in the past, now we have to fix them. Yes, there are many shortfalls in the Union, we now have to take care of them. Together we can shape our common future, otherwise we will become the pariahs of the future. Konstantinos Karamanlis was a true European visionary, because he, along with many other statesmen of his time, understood the immense potential of the united Europe. During his time, it wasn't that obvious to many of his contemporaries. Now, it is almost self-evident to everyone. In our times, at times of huge economic turbulence and crisis, we face the challenges. We're solving our economic problems on the one hand, and we disallow on the other the extremists and the populists to appear. And the way we do it is because we love our country, each one of us, the same way, the same manner in which we're all dedicated to Europe. We love our country too much to allow this phenomenon to appear. And another way we do it is by honoring the legacy of such great historic figures, and by pushing ahead for more Europe, not less, more integration, not less, and yes, a better Europe, a more interactive Europe, a more balanced Europe, a more social Europe, a more competitive Europe. The united Europe, Konstantinos Karamanlis, and the vision. Thank you very much.